Alright guys, so it seems I'm live now. I hope this is not gonna crash because I had some problems setting up everything. Give me a second so I can share it in other groups and in the Facebook group we have. I just want to make sure people are aware. And again, as I said, I hope it's not going to crash. It took quite a while to set this up, quite a while to put everything up, and now it's running, but we'll see if it goes fine. Give me a second here. Boom. So things are pretty slow. So if you guys are just joining right now, let me know. Type in something in the comment, just so I know you're there. And today what I want to do is I want to do a Q&A. So I'll talk a little bit at the beginning, but then I'll give you time to ask question or post anything you're wondering about. So let me just go here, and I'll make sure to share everything. This is pretty slow on this side, so we'll see. I see there's no one yet in the live video, so it's totally fine. No problem with that. I'll just share it here on other places. There you go. We'll share this in the group. There you go. Awesome. So if you guys are joining me now, let me know. Comment something here. I know it's going to take maybe a while for people to come in and for people to be able to join. That's totally fine. As I said, what I want to do today, and this is bugging a little bit. What I want to do today is I want to talk about a few things, but I want to give you a place to ask questions. So if you guys have any questions, go ahead, type them in the comment, type them somewhere, and I want to make sure I reply to them. I want to make sure that it's good for you and that you get something out of this live video, because that's the goal. So what I want to talk about is the fact that on Friday I always share something on a Facebook group. And it's always about accomplishment. So what you've been doing this week and what you're proud of. Now this is really important in my opinion. Really important for a simple fact. Accomplishment helps you when you recognize them. They really help you to move forward. They really push you forward. And two things they do. First of all, when you recognize what you did well, you kind of gain this momentum, right? You kind of gain the energy to move further. And that's great. So that's the reason why I want you to share your accomplishment and share the things you did right the past week. So for one thing, you have the momentum. And then the second reason is because it feels a lot better. It feels a lot better to feel proud of yourself and not to feel down. And the worst way to get into a new trading week is probably to feel bad about yourself. When you feel down, when you don't feel like you want to keep going, right? That's the worst way you could get to trading, to get to a new week. Because then you're going to feel down and you're probably going to put more bad trades, and you're probably going to want to trade more, or probably don't want to trade at all. So that's the reason why I want you to be proud of every single thing you do. And whether it's a small thing or a big thing, right, it doesn't matter. Just be proud of where you are now and what you're doing, because you're definitely doing things great. And that's something you have to realize. People want to see like the big thing that they do right, like the big move, they make like huge money. They want to see that. But it's not always the case. You might have big moves and you might have big change and you might be proud of them, but you're also going to have small increments that you do every single day. Things that you put in action, or things that you read and that you implement, right? Those things are amazing. And I want you to recognize every single thing that you do and really be proud of them. Be happy about them. Because there's studies that have been made, and it's pretty interesting. The small actions you take, the small things, the small accomplishments make you as much happy as the big ones. You just have to recognize them and you have to be proud of them. So one thing you can do today is to probably keep track of every single good accomplishment you have, good decision you've made, and keep track of it, just to make sure that you move forward, you have the momentum, and you feel good about yourself, right? That's a big key here. And could be something like, and this is something I said this morning, could be simply something like not trading during a speech, right? We had a speech by Mrs. Yellen this morning. And not trading during that speech was probably the biggest thing you could do, right? A good decision you could take. So comment below, and I'm just curious if you traded or not during the speech, because not trading during that speech would have been a right decision. It would have been something you can be proud of, right? It's not a huge thing. It's only a bad. It's only a small thing, but you can be proud of that because that's what will make you reach your goal. That's what will help you out. And speaking of speech, I just want to talk about this a little bit. You're going to see that there's a big difference when you have a speech versus a news release, right? It's not the same reaction. So most of the time, if I'm going to be in a trade and we have a news release, I might be fine with it. I might understand like what's going to happen because usually you're going to have a strong reaction in one direction and that's fine. But when you have a speech, you're going to see that things are much more volatile. Like this morning, I wish I could show you the graph now, but what you're going to see if you look at the graph on any pair, I was trading USD CAD. And if you look at the graph, you're going to see a big move up right away when you have the news, the speech, in fact, and then big move down right away. So 2 candlesticks. Now, you're going to see that if you were in a sell trade, overall, you will be totally right. But from that first news, that first candlestick, you would be totally out. So that's the big key. You have to have big reactions. Why? Because a news is often ambiguous, right? It's not one reaction, it's not one data. It's like voice, isn't it? It's like speech. It's like something said. So people can interpret it differently. And you're going to see the reaction overall. So it's not going to be one thing. It's going to be like a bigger reaction over time. And you can trade it afterward, but it's not the same thing as a news release. So when you're going to see a news, let's say GBP to be released, GDP to be released, you're probably going to see a big move in one direction. And that's going to be pretty much the whole news. You're not going to see like big movement up and down. And that's the difference. So speech versus the news. I usually tend to avoid trading in a speech. I only trade after. While in the news, I'll just wait a little bit and I'll get in a trade if I want to. So it's going to be different in that case. Now, if it's clear, let me know. If it's not clear, let me know as well. Post your question below. And I'll try to see if I can see the post here. It's great. So we have a couple of viewers. It sucks because I can't see the comment. But if you guys have any question, make sure you post them. I'll get back to them afterward. It takes some time for me to see the question. I hope this video is fine to see. I hope it's not crashing too much. But I really wanted guys to share your accomplishment. I'll post something in the group today, a little bit later. I think it's going to be published pretty soon. But post something there, post something you're proud of. It helps to build momentum, helps you to feel great. And if you have any question about trading, let me know. I'll do my best to help you out. And if you've not listened to the episode by Chris Capri this week, you need to check this out because this is huge in terms of psychology. And I think I said that probably 5 times this week. But really listen to it. Make sure you take notes because there's a lot in it. And if not, then you're missing out on something. Check out the Facebook group, desireToTrade.com/group. You're going to be able to join the group for free. And again, I'll see you next week for these videos. Taking a break for the weekend, but I'll get back to this next week. Ciao.